We're live. Final. Okay, so today's notes. What I want to talk to you about is a frequency histogram, which is going to have intervals. And that's what Grace said. It's going to have intervals, right? And we're also going to talk about stem and leaf, which I'm hoping you guys have seen stem and leaf before. Maybe. Anybody seen stem and leaf before? They look like this. Guys? Huh? Stem and leaf? Okay, so December 2nd. So let's go back, because I did make a mistake. I just recorded it, that I made a mistake. It's on film. So skewed to the left means the tail. It's gonna fan out to the left. Symmetrical. Marsh, did you not get one?
No, I was looking for something. No.
Symmetrical is gonna look more like a normal curve, right? That's more like symmetrical, or I like the word normal distribution. And then skewed to the right means the tail is going to be to the right. Okay, there we go. Skewed right, skewed left, because the tail goes off to the right. Okay, so now that we've corrected that, does that make sense? All right. So now this is a stem and leaf plot. And what we have are these numbers. And let's write them down. I have a 38. See, I've got a 38. I've got a 45. I've got a 50. I've got a 51. I've got a 52. I've got a 54. I've got a 62, a 63 twice. I've got a 65. I've got a 67. 68, got a 69, I've got a 71, oh, I'm going to be able to fit them on here, hopefully, 72, another 72, I've got I'll have to put it down here, 74, 76, and another 76, okay? Alright, so those are my numbers, as far as the stem and leaf plot goes. Right?
What happened to the fraction?
Great question. You can put your key and you ask the best question. So you can make your key as 5, 2 as, and your key, tell what it is equal to 5.2. Great question. Right? So your key tells you 5.2 means 5.2. Okay. So then we know that, for instance, if you made your key like this, that'd be a 3.8. That'd be a 4.5. 5.0, because your key would tell what it is. Does that make sense? Yeah, good. That was a really good question.
Good question,
He always asks good questions, doesn't he? I like that. So now, we have to make a histogram. Our intervals are kind of there, aren't they? So my intervals are kind of there. I'm going to go ahead and make my histogram. My intervals are going to go from in the 30s. So I'm going to go, we'll go 29 to, we'll go to 29 to 30. We'll go 30 to 31. We'll go 40, 39. We'll go 40 to 49. We'll go 50 to 59. I'm going to go 60 to 69 and 70 to 79. Okay, write this down, you guys. Okay, so I'm putting my intervals. These seem like obvious intervals. My stem and leaf help me with my intervals, right?
So I'm going 30s to 39. And then my stem leaf really helps me out because I know how many are in there, right? Makes it pretty easy. So I made my intervals, right? I did the 30s, I did my 40s, I did my 50s, my 60s, 70s. Okay, I'll let you catch up. So I did my intervals. We're making a histogram. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Okay. Everybody good? Am I going too fast?
No.
So I know for sure I only have one. I only have one in the 30s, right? So I'm going to put my... Okay. I have one in the 40s, right? I have four in the 50s. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the 60s. Oh, I'm off by a little bit, aren't I? 30, 40, 50, 60s, 50s. There's my 60s. And then my 70s is 79. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 6. Okay, easy. You guys agree? Easy. Okay. Thumbs up on that. I'll wait for you. So I want to make sure I don't confuse you, because obviously on the box of whisker, it was a little, this is easier, isn't this a lot easier? You find your intervals. I put my intervals. Now the question, listen. The question is, what intervals do you use? And that's up to you. That's up to you. Now these are pretty obvious intervals, like within the tens. Sometimes the intervals aren't easy to pick. If you pick too few, your intervals are too much, then you only get a couple of bars. If your intervals are too much, then you get a whole lot of bars, right? So it's up to you. You have to decide what's the correct interval for you, okay? So let's turn the page. And then pretty soon I'm going to cut you loose, okay? Okay? All right, and I don't think we need to do number 2 because I think you got the idea of how to do this. You guys agree? Yep. Now, let me stop my recording. And what I want you to do is I want new data today. I want you to interview again. You need about 20, at least 20, but new data, something new today.